I feel like I want a Vimto. I bloody love me a Vimto. A little while ago I asked you guys on my Instagram story what YouTubers you wanted me to do tarot readings on. This isn't going to be anything malicious. I'm not trying to weed out any gossip or find out any secrets. This is just for fun, and this is entertainment purposes only, because at the end of the day I'm just reading what cards have to say connected to a certain name. So I'm not making any accusations here. I'm just saying, look, we're reading this person, these are what the cards are saying. If you want to blame anyone, blame the cards. I've done this video one time before. If you want to see that one, I kind of go a bit more into, I watched that back the other day and I was like, God, I'm explaining everything. I really talk about why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that, and I go into a little bit more explanation. This one, I'm just going to go into what I see rather than like basically teaching the audience what I'm doing. You guys can give me feedback in the comments, what you think it is I'm connecting with, what I'm reading in the cards and why, and give me the goss and give me the deets. Some of you guys have done that on my last video that I did, on my last reading video for YouTubers. You told me what came true and what like stuff that I've missed. I watch YouTube, but like, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of YouTubers' lives as much as I used to as a kid, maybe when I was like obsessive over YouTubers. But let me know if you like this kind of content. If you did, make sure you'll give this video a thumbs up. Join me on my social media such as Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I also have a Patreon, and I also stream live on YouNow. Let's go. There's a full review of this deck if you want to know what it is. If you see it in this video and you're like, that looks nice, go watch it on my channel. That's an order. It's not really. We got some goodies here, we got some goodies. So, who do I feel drawn to? I was so tempted to do Shane again. I really want to do Shane. I think I will probably do a little reading for Shane at the end of this video, because I always feel weirdly connected to him and drawn to him, and I feel like I can read him easy. I do like reading Shane. As well as that, he's got a lot going on in his life, and he is doing what I said in the last video. It's something different to normal. So it would be nice to see where this takes him and his new journey and where it's going and everything. I'd quite like to read Shane, so I'll do that at the end of this video. But first, ooh, I've seen a recommendation for Gabby Hanna. I'm not a massive Gabby Hanna fan, but I definitely dip in and out of her videos. So I am going to read Gabby Hanna. Thank you very much, Eileen, for suggesting that. Eileen is also a patron, so thank you, my babes. We have some advice, and let's see what comes up. Whoa. All right. On a scale of like, if we're looking at a scale here, I would say I know about Gabby like 40%. I just know her recent stuff. I've only recently just got into her. So because we're doing a little bit about the past right now, we're dealing with something here that she's been trying to ignore. She's been maybe glossing over. She hasn't been helping herself and healing herself when she maybe needed to. Lots of people's words, lots of people's opinions, kind of feeling as though they're like stabbing her, and she's very overwhelmed by how much is going on. She's kind of got a lot of like attacks and digs and stuff, and yeah, she's pretending it's not happening though. She's pretending it's not there. She's acting as though there is really nothing she can do about this. She's come out of this period now. I feel like this is something that she's recently had to deal with, but it's probably still haunting her a little bit. Maybe she doesn't want to slip back into old ways, or she doesn't want to deal with that. She doesn't want to be in that toxic place that she was in before, but she's definitely been in pain. Like, the world kind of feels like it's crashing down on her, and she hasn't just been like knocked down once, she's been knocked out plenty of times. So that's really interesting. I'm wondering whether the rest of the reading kind of connects with that. Okay, so she's got the healing angel straight after that. So spiritually, I don't know if she's like into the spiritual world or whatever, but spiritually she might have had someone protect her and help her and heal her and really help her moderate something, because basically this next phase she's had in her life, she's moderated stuff. So she's really had to kind of check in on herself. This is a completely different vibe. So this is going from someone who is pretending that it's not happening and it's not there, and then she's stopped, checked in on herself and worked out what needs to be changed and what needs to be moderated, things that need to be taken away from her life, things that need to be added in, combining things together that she hasn't done before. So she's trying new things, she's going about the situation in a much more healthier way, and also a more logical and balanced way. Things were very out of balance before, and now she's reining in everything in a really lovely way, and I'm really happy to see this as her next card. She's feeling very optimistic, and she's feeling very bright and sunny, and there's obviously something going on in her life that's making her feel more focused and working on a lot of self-love and development in herself. And I do feel like the thing I was talking about earlier, I do feel like this is a social media thing or a technology thing. The deck I use in particular is very much connected to technology. There physically is someone in this card who's holding a phone, and she's got loads of swords in her back while she's like using technology. So this kind of, you would assume that she's maybe dealing with like online hate, or she's looking through all the people on her feed that are like stabbing her and for some reason causing her pain, but she just can't stop looking. That's probably because it's her job, or the fact that she just can't stop looking. She might be one of those people that, or maybe it finds her. No, I don't feel like this is self-sabotage. I feel like it finds her. So I would say maybe she's taken a step back from how much technology and social media she uses. Like she's physically gone in and like logically and analytically worked out what is too much, and that she maybe needs to tone down on her maybe overworking or looking or using too much technology. So this is good. I feel really positive about this. This is competition. This is battling against each other, having a few people who are maybe in the same like game as you are, she's contesting against. I don't know if she's going into anything soon where she's having to like fight for her ground, fight for her creativity, like show her worth and prove her worth around other people that also have like valid creations and valid opinions and everything. She has to kind of stick her own like wand in there and show that she's great too, and it's a bit of a fight, it's a bit of a battle. Not necessarily a bad thing at all. And also she's come a good way to put herself in that place to fight, because, you know, if she had this negative frame of mind she had a little while ago, like 6 months or so ago, and then she went straight into battle, she might not deal with it as better as she is now. If anything, what she's doing now, she's kind of preparing herself for what she's got coming. Like she's having to big herself up in the future. She's going to need to. So she's putting herself in a space now where she's realizing her worth. She doesn't feel bad. She doesn't feel stressed, and she's ready. She's ready for that fight. As her advice card, yeah, she needs to step away from social media. She needs to step away from too much technology. She needs to have more time on herself, on her own. At this point in time, I don't know if she's dealing with people who are toxic or she shouldn't be around, or there might be people who I would suggest to look out for and be cautious about, because she needs alone time to sort her shit out, and she doesn't need distractions. She doesn't need people to tell her what to do. To work as well, to focus in on her own intuition, like creatively. So she's not going to be able to listen to her own deep thoughts and what her gut's saying if she's got loads of people around her. She needs solitude right now, and choose when and if she needs to connect to anybody. Like this is the time where she needs to work on the things. I don't know if anyone knows like a project she's working on right now, but it definitely is something that she isn't at the moment doing collaboratively. This is all on her own, and I think that might be something that she personally perhaps struggles with, because she will soon fall back into that space of like, okay, here we go, like back to being surrounded by lots of people and dealing with that. So she's in a very competitive world. I don't see any of that changing anytime soon. Like it's just something she's gonna have to sort of deal with, but in a healthier and less toxic way. I think that also in the future, when she's got some sort of competing that she needs to do, it's not too aggressive. It's not necessarily something like I feel kind of uncomfortable about and I feel like she needs to be wary of. It's more that she needs to be tactful. This card is more about looking like you're doing a dance than you are fighting with the other people in the card. So to me, that always means tactfully promote yourself and big up yourself without kind of getting bitter or without any negative energy spilling in and making you look like a terrible person. In a weird way, it's like competition, but like there is still mutual respect for the other people that you're fighting with. It's not like dog eat dog, killing each other kind of thing. It's like we're all here to play our part, and you know, whoever comes up top, they come up top kind of thing. So it's still like quite nice. It's a nice feeling. I'm gonna ask what creative projects she's got coming up in the near like next 6 months. Ooh, wow. Okay, so a really nice start. Like this is something that is really fulfilling to her and means a lot to her and makes her feel like purposeful and complete. This is a homely orientated card as well, so this is about the home life, and I don't know whether she's got any creative projects in mind soon about like painting her home, decorating her home. I don't know if she's got any major things about renovations or something, but she's definitely trying to beautify up her home life, and I'm seeing like colors and painting, and I'm just seeing painting. See, she's got a big creative project to do with her home life, I feel like. I don't know if she's going to bring that onto YouTube at all. Yes, she's got the home card, she's got the marriage card, she's doing a little bit of a escape from the hustle and bustle and everything going on. Like I was saying about people around her, she's taking a step away from like community and lots of things and lots of people, and she's going in herself a little bit. Like she's going to do some like internally fulfilling creative projects that work for her. And I also feel like she may be doing this with someone she's very close with. I don't know if that's like romantically. I feel like it could be like trying to build up a home with someone that she has an interest with. I don't know if anyone knows anything about her like partnering up with someone, but I don't know, from these cards, cozying up your home, cozying up your garden, and making everything beautiful and magical, and creating a nice base and a nice foundation for you, which is lovely. I would love to get these two cards in a reading because I'm a Cancer. I don't know what star sign she is. So this is good. Should I keep pulling? Oh, wow. Yeah. She's just working. She's building on her, like, I just feel so much like progress, and she's in on focus and persistence. Like this is something that's taking her a long time. So I do know she has moved house recently, and I don't, because the next card I've pulled out is like slow progress. So whatever she's working on with her home, it's taking like a long time to do it, but that's because she wants it done right and she wants it perfected, and it feels nice to her. Like she has an enjoyment of doing this as well. It's not like a chore or anything. And I think that's where most of her creative projects and energy is going into in the next year. Oh, this is so lovely. She finishes off her, I'm going to finish her reading here. This is the World card. She's going to feel complete. She's going to finish this home renovation or something she's doing soon, and it's going to finally be finished and come full circle, and she's going to feel magical. It's going to feel right. She's going to feel like in her element, and she's going to be like, I'm seeing her like just in her element, like she's in her space, she's comfortable, she can get naked and walk around the house and just be like, ah. She feels in her vibe, and she's going to be really, really happy, if I'm honest. She's going to be really, really happy, and it's just going to skyrocket from there. Like she has that, and she's going to progress on to other things very, very quickly. But that's what I'm feeling of Gabby, Hannah, is that right? Really nice. That was a really nice reading. So let's have a look to see who else we can have our dip into. Jenna Marbles or Trisha Paytas? Two people said Jenna Marbles, so I'll do Jenna Marbles. Thank you very much for your suggestions, by the way. Ooh. So in the recent past, I feel like she's had a reason to sit back and stand back. Once again, feel free to let me know in the comments if you feel like this resonates with anything that you know about her, if you're a big fan of her, that is, to re-evaluate what progress she's made, what showed for itself, what work she's put into something, what's come out of the work, and she's had a reason to assess it. Whether that's because she wants to go in another direction, or she has reason to think about like new projects ahead. Like she's maybe, I would say recently she's gone through a period of like, well, now what? What's worked here? What didn't work there? Where can I progress in ways that has worked, like when it comes to her business and her career? And how can I like keep going on that? And how can I ditch the things that didn't show for themselves? There's a reason for her to A, step back and take in her efforts, like realize how well she's done and how far she's come, and B, really think about where that is going to take her now. Like, what's her next move? Have a new perspective on things. She had to recently take a break. I don't know if that's anything you know about her, but she's recently had to take a break so she can look back at something with fresh eyes, enjoy what she's grown for herself, and then when she comes back to her creative projects, she will have a better and clearer understanding of what to do. Yeah, that's healthy. I'd say that's healthy. Which has led her to, she's not moving or anything, is she? Is she moving? Or she's gone away on a trip or something. If that's not the case, this is an emotional move, and this is moving from a space of kind of lots of erraticness and a bit of a bumpy ride to a space that's clearer, calmer, and this is a journey with somebody else as well. So maybe one person's having to kind of be the leader, be the stronger person, and be the carrier, I suppose. Taking her and someone else, or just people on a journey together somewhere that promises something better. So I think that this moment of reflection has led her to realizing where she wants to now go and take things. So she's maybe physically moving somewhere that she feels promises her better results and a better time. A lot of what she's doing now is going a little bit into the unknown. This isn't water she's been in for a while. She's actively deciding to make a logical decision of what makes sense for her at this point in time, after reflecting over things, to go and do something about them. And it's a little bit scary, it's a little bit emotional, and it's not easy. It's not something that is just, you know, a straightforward process, but it's something that looks a lot more promising for her, which is obviously why she's decided to go do it, which in turn will lead her to... Ooh, is she going... Okay, someone's gonna have to tell me this. Is she going to somewhere from her past? Is she connecting back to something of her old ways? Or is she going physically somewhere of her childhood? Is she visiting old friends? Is she connecting with old relationships or something like that? Because I feel like she's looked at her progression in some form of her life, her recent progression of some form of her life, and then she's realized maybe like old ways worked better, or there was something about how things worked out for her when she was younger, or a method she did before, and she's connecting back with that. She's being in touch with her old self a little bit, maybe her child self. She's also maybe around old friends or family members, and she's getting in touch with them again and on a personal level, and maybe being quite giving with them. She might be helping and supporting someone. That even might be the reason why she has to go and travel somewhere, because she wants to help someone in her family. Maybe it's personal issues or something. I never really go into anything that's like too personal, because that's not my business. But her advice space is to lead. So I do think she's the person who's in the boat and she's supporting someone. This is an emotional support system that she's taking part of right now. She's leading and teaching and helping and supporting someone. Can anyone tell me who this is? I have no clue, but she's very sure of what she wants. She has this fiery passion within her. It's like a bubbly drive to help and to love and to creatively solve someone's issues, and she has a good way of knowing a way around things, sorting things out in a refreshing kind of way, and she's got that ongoing confidence to do so. Like, she's not scared to kind of say her ideas and say what she thinks would work, because as the King of Wands, they would know what to do, so they're trusted. So let's have a little look-see. Let's elaborate. She's doing a lot of thinking ahead. Her headspace isn't in the now. It was recently, but now it's like, it's ready to make some logical steps forward and deciding, like, she's taking the knowledge she knows already, and combining it with learning new stuff. She's trying to take what she already knows and she's trying to progress further with that stuff by connecting to new knowledge. I hope that makes sense. She's basically very organized right now. She's organizing, she's planning. I feel like it's somewhere, like, it's still somewhere warm. It's not like she's going to a trip somewhere cold or something like that. I feel like this is somewhere warm, somewhere hot. And it's connected to children again. It's connected to children. The King of Wands again. She's relied on for something. She's being relied on for something. She's seen as, like, the person who knows what they're doing, like the leader. I feel like there's just suddenly been like some sort of shift, some sort of change, some sort of motion, like, that's taken control of the situation, like flipped the table upside down. And I can't work out whether that's like in a negative way or a positive way, but I definitely feel that's like shifted things around, and I really want to know what that is. It's thrown things off course. And it's a battle, it's an ongoing battle. There's a lot of wands, there are a lot of wands coming through. That's passionate, fiery energy. That is a fire sign. What sign is she? I can't remember. But there is a lot of like creative thinking going on and ideas for something. What is this? And like again with the previous reading we did, there's some form of competitiveness with this. But I feel like in a weird way, she's tougher. Like she's been through it for a while. She's almost at the end. She's got all of her ideas lined up. She knows what she's doing. This is more organized. I feel like, okay, I will say she there's nothing to worry about. Jenna is someone, I didn't know this before, but I feel like from this reading, Jenna is someone who's really good at like thinking of what she wants to do, or where she wants to go, where she wants to be, and she'll like manifest that naturally in her life. Like she's very good at putting herself in a space of what to do next and where to go, and then it just happens, it just works. She has a really healthy way of making moves, and her go-get-it attitude works in her favor like most of the time, and she's fine. I'm either thinking like, I don't want to say illness or death or something like that, because I didn't get any of those kind of cards, but I just really get the impression like she's kind of helping someone fight their field and helping someone fight a battle, which is a weird thing to say, but she's kind of good at it. It's like, I don't feel like it feels like a new thing. It's something that she's been doing for a while anyway. Let's move on to our last one, and let's do a little Shane reading, see what Shane has to say for himself. Let's have a look to see what's to come up. I'm excited. Don't know what that was. He has the money card. I don't really know how, because obviously I'm aware like he's making money now. Like we've all followed his finance kind of journey, from how transparent they've been about the money they're making from the merch and from the makeup. Well, he's definitely been receiving money, and I think maybe it wasn't even actually for the recent big project he's been involved in, but he has recently received quite a bit of money for whatever reason. I think he also, if I didn't know him, I'd say he's recently been given a great opportunity. We all know that. He's been handed an opportunity. He's been handed something with so much potential. The ace, all of the aces in a tarot deck mean potential. So like it hasn't yet happened. It's like the starting point, and it's saying, look, this is what you can have, now chase it. And let's see if he did. Whoa, death card. Out with the old, in with the new. So it's like welcoming in a new page and a new chapter of your life. This is saying goodbye to the old, and this is welcoming in something that feels current and good for now and right for now. And I think this opportunity in the past was big enough, was something great enough for him to leave the past behind, and great enough for him to like turn a new leaf and say, right, let's head in the direction of something that serves us now. And there's a darker side to this. I feel like it wasn't as easy, I'd say, for him to kind of like say goodbye and leave something behind which wasn't serving him any longer. Before I did this reading, I kind of assumed that Shane had a quite straightforward attitude towards leaving the old behind, but I feel like maybe that wasn't necessarily the case. Like it was something that felt like it had to be, like it needed to be done, right? This could also leak into something else going on in his life. I don't know if anyone can help me with this, but I feel like he's had to kind of like cut off old habits and people. And if this is connecting to his new direction with his channel and his career and stuff, I, before this reading, once again thought he was going to dip back into like his old ways. Like this was going to be something he's tried as like a fun thing to dip into, and then he's going to kind of like leap back into, you know, what he was doing before. But I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like that stuff's kind of like dead, and it's, I don't know, he's left that behind. Let's see what's coming in the future. This is so obvious, like, I mean, I could have said this anyway, but in the near future, he's going to have a lot of focus and willpower on something that he's not very experienced at and knows a lot about. This is dipping into a whole new world that he is a student in. Like, he's still learning. He's got his backpack on in this card, and he's ready to take the journey, and it's like goodbye with the old. Like, he's so focused in something else that takes a lot of work and understanding and knowledge, and he's gonna just be learning. He's gonna learn so much. He's willing to learn, he's ready to learn. So, you know, like in the past, the opportunity came to him, the Ace of Pentacles, it was handed to him in the sky. Like this is it in the air being offered, and this is him taking it and cutting ties with like what he kind of knows. Advice, he's got rest, he's got take a break, he's got do some healing. So I feel maybe he needs to recharge some batteries. The Death card also, it's a person on a horse that's just come out of like a big journey, a big battle. They have people at their feet who are like wounded and have just been through a war, and obviously he's gone through some sort of like journey that's taken a toll. And the advice card is that he needs to, he might fall into some burnout, and he might be overworking himself right now, and he's got kind of like a long journey ahead of him and a lot to go and work through soon, so he needs to kind of take a break now and take a pause. There could be something health related here that he needs to look out for. There's something to do with his health which he needs to be kind of a bit watchful of in case it gets overseen during all this chaos going on right now. Because there's Death card and Four of Swords coming out in one reading, I would say medically there is something he should get checked out, or something that might get in the way of things later on when he's embarking in this new exciting journey. Let's have a little look at some cards to elaborate this. Right, let's see what wants to come through. This is long, slow progress again. This is like very practical, slow. I feel like whatever thing he's on to next, it's going to be a case of waiting a long time for it to come out again. Loads of waiting around because he's got loads to develop on, he's got loads to learn, and once again, this is a slow progress project, and there's just a lot for him to dedicate himself into again. Wow. So he's got the King of Pentacles. This is more money. This is being very content with his physical world, with his finances. He's learning in a new area, but he's content with where he is. So he's in a really good space. This is giving. He's going to give to charity. He's going to help people around him, help his family, help his partner. He's going to help friends. Like, he's going to be in a really comfortable position. I'm seeing nothing to worry about here. Queen of Swords, who's that? I feel like the card in the King of Pentacles reminds me of Ryland a little bit. I don't know whether like this is Ryland like benefiting from some of the material success that Shane's making, because that's the kind of person he is. Like, I think he's a little bit more, he's not materialistic, but I think he enjoys that life a little bit more than Shane does. I don't know, someone might have like a sharp, someone might have quite a blunt and sharp way of saying things to Shane, or like an opinion of like being direct. And God, all three readings I've had today are the competitive cards have come through. Lots of people just, I guess I'm reading for people who are in a career that, you know, you have to fight to get to the top, like fight your worth and stand your ground, and other people trying to get in there and blah blah blah. But there's someone who's gonna have quite like a nasty thing to say, like quite a sharp opinion. The truth's gonna come out from someone. The way someone feels about something in a very harsh and sharp way is going to come out in order to stir the mix, and in order for a fight to maybe boil up. And something coming through here about like trying to like cause chaos and trying to cause drama. Whoa, yeah. There's gonna be people trying to like run in and jump in on that like success, and they're not gonna be very subtle about it either. It's gonna be like kind of, there's going to be a woman, there's a female who has something negative to say about Shane and what he's doing, and then there's going to be a male figure who's rushing in to say some harsh words and to betray Shane a bit. Someone he's close with, someone he thought he was close with maybe. Someone's going to say some harsh words, because the guy who's saying something is going to hurt Shane more than the female. The female's just like doing it for drama, and the male is kind of doing it to hurt Shane. Who is that? Yeah, but I don't feel like there's anything to worry about, if I'm honest. Yeah. It's just gonna show people's true colours, and he's gonna be alright in his element. He's fine, he's working on his own projects, he's gonna keep himself busy working on the things that he wants to work on, in his bubble, in his space of like happiness and contentment and financial freedom and beautiful home and all that stuff. And it's just gonna make him realise who he needs to cut ties with, and he's gonna have to make a decision on who he decides to keep around. But whatever he decides, someone's not gonna be happy about the decision. Like, whoever he decides to cut ties with, someone's gonna have something bad to say about that. So he's gonna be kind of put in a little awkward space, like in the middle somewhere. But he will eventually do what he needs to do, and he will move off and go else. Like, he will take who's close with him, and he will move away with them and work with them and be with them and around them instead. And he will make that transition and process that step away from who it is they need to be away from. And I don't feel like there's any issue with it. With anyone though, when you find success and when you go somewhere and when you reach somewhere where you get lots of money or you get a nice cushy life, I feel like people around you, their true colours start to shine, and you realise who your true friends are. And I think that Shane's probably got used to this now, and he's kind of maybe expected this. And obviously that doesn't make it less sad though. Like, it's gonna kind of hurt, but he's going to deal with it, because that's just the type of person he is. And it's all just over success and fame, isn't it? Like, he doesn't really care for that too much anyway. So it really is going to make the decision easier for him to realise who he wants to stick around in his life. He's probably not going to want to cut ties for a little while. It's probably going to take him a long time to make this decision, but someone's going to help him make the decision. And then when he makes the decision, he will go and he will be happier there, and he will consciously decide to move away from the less dramatic side. He'll gravitate away from the drama. So those are all my things. I could have gone on for ages. I could just talk for hours and hours. I love reading people's cards. It's so therapeutic and so fun. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments who you think I should read in the future. For now though, I will see you on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I stream live on YouNow. I can do a reading for you if you want one. My email is in the video description box below. Thank you very much for watching.